Before we begin, I'd like to explain why I delayed this video. I wanted to delay it a bit so I could actually use a screenshot from the newly released NASCAR 25, which I'll be doing a review on pretty soon. Yeah, I didn't want to use an Assetto Corsa screenshot or BMG screenshot. I wanted to use a screenshot from the latest NASCAR game. And I wanted it to look as accurate as possible, so yeah, that's why the video got delayed for a bit, and I'll tell you which edition that I pre-ordered when I review the game. But anyways, on to the video. Greetings, NASCAR joyers, and after Petit Le Mans, we head on over to the South Point 400 in Las Vegas. The 2025 South Point 400 at Las Vegas begins with Denny Hamlin jumping to the lead. Never mind, Briscoe got the lead. Free Willy, that's William Byron, and Elliott battle for third. So far, not much is going on. Hamlin is seen trying to run down his teammate Briscoe. Free Willy has got past Hamlin for second. Several drivers start making their pit stops under green. Because Briscoe pit in, Hocevar is now leading. Free Willy, William Byron, is in the lead after Hocevar made his pit stop. He starts getting caught up in lap traffic. Chase Elliott fell back to 6th due to a slow pit stop. Again, not much seems to be going on. And the caution just came out as Blaney got into the wall. Wait, that's a caution? But anyways, our first race off pit road begins and Free Willy, William Byron, wins the race off pit road. But anyways, the caution ends with Free Willy, William Byron, jumping to the lead. And just like that, Free Willy, aka William Byron, wins the first stage of the 2025 South Point 400. The second stage begins with Free Willy, William Byron, and Kyle Larson battling for the lead. Larson just took the lead from Free Willy, aka William Byron. Briscoe got past Free Willy, that's William Byron if you haven't known already, for second. It was right behind Larson. Hold up, Free Willy just got past Briscoe for second. Larson continues to lead. Reddick gets past Briscoe for third. Taco Bell comes down to pit road, that's Christopher Bell by the way, and several more join in alongside him. Hamlin, Reddick, Elliott, and several more are next to join in. Briscoe and several more then make their pit stops. Larson comes down to pit road and loses the lead to Hubba Bubba, that's Bubba Wallace. And Chase Elliott gets penalized for an uncontrolled tire. Ding it! Hubba Bubba makes his pit stop and gives up the lead to Custer. Custer pits in and Larson is back in the lead. Holy crapper! Reddick is right behind Larson. Both drivers get caught in lap traffic. And Reddick is getting held up by Elliott, which will slow him down. Brad K has moved up to 12th, and this could be a shining moment if he moves up to the top 10. Giggles Logano and Lil Bow Wow battle for 8th. And the right rear of Logano's car starts to go away. And just like that, Larson wins the second stage of the 2025 South Point 400. But anyways, our next race off pit road begins, and Larson wins the race off pit road. The third and final stage begins with Larson and Reddick battling for the lead. Larson pulled away, but Hamlin is back in second. Reddick just took second away from his boss, Hamlin, and is running down Larson. Holy crapper! There's so much going on that I can't keep up! Free Willy, aka William Byron, gets past Reddick for second. The battle continues, and Larson still leads. Hamlin and Reddick battle for third. Chase Briscoe comes down to pit road and Giggles Logano joins in alongside him. Gibbs and Lil Bow Wow, that's Alex Bowman, have contact when they make their pit stops. Yeah, before they enter pit road and made their pit stops, they had contact with each other. Free Willy and Taco Bell, that's William Byron and Christopher Bell, are next to come down to pit road and several more soon join in. Larson is next to come down to pit road and gives up the lead to Hamlin. Free Willy got past Larson after he left pit road. Hamlin comes down to pit road and gave up the lead to Hocevar until he too pits in. Brad K comes down to pit road and Free Willy, that's William Byron, is now leading. Free Willy gets loose and Larson is back in the lead. And the caution just came out as Free Willy and Ty Dillon got involved. Not even Free Willy was safe. And of course, he didn't know that Ty Dillon was going to pit in late. He thought that the pit cycle was done. But no, there's this one driver that decides to pit in late for some reason. Hopefully, this will give Reddick or Hamlin a chance to win. Both Free Willy and Tie-Dye, that's Ty Dillon, are out of the race. Several drivers come down to pit road during caution. This time, Briscoe wins the race off pit road. But anyways, the caution ends with Briscoe and Gilzagano battling for the lead. And the caution just came out as AJ Allmendinger, Ty Gibbs, and poor SVG get taken out. And he had such a good day. Good lord. Even Cody Ware isn't safe. We get an explanation of why Free Willy and Ty Dillon. Ty Dillon's spotter didn't give him the info, and there was miscommunication with the two. Yeah, should have pitted in when the cycle was ongoing. But anyways, the caution ends with Logano and Briscoe battling for the lead. Larson gets past Giggles Logano, and Hamlin just got past him. Holy crapper! Hamlin got past Larson, and the two go at it! Yes, this is the battle that I wanted to see. Larson gets past him, but Hamlin retaliated and got past Larson again. He gets past Briscoe. Briscoe holds off Larson until Larson got past him when the two tires of his car lost grip. Hamlin now has a second lead gap, and Larson has no chance to win against him now. And in a twist, Denny Hamlin wins the South Point 400 and locks himself into the championship 4. Yes! Hamlin should definitely win a championship this year. Ironically, he lost in last year's South Point 400, but now he's in. Denny Hamlin haters won't like the fact that he won, but Hamlin fans will. To me, the race gets a 9 out of 10 for the Insane Fish. It's also the first time an AMPM sponsored car won. Yeah, not even Car Daily was able to do it. It was also an emotional win for Denny Hamlin. But anyways, after an exciting race, it's time to sign off. Here's the link to last year's Vegas playoff races. That'll be in the video itself if you want to see them. But anyways, here's some bonus content for you. This is a bonus race that I couldn't fit anywhere else because my main focus was on Petit Le Mans. So here's the bonus race review. Because I focused on Petit Le Mans, I had to put this race review in as bonus content. I had to do it anyways as the race also had a SpongeBob car. Yeah, both the Xfinity and Cup Series races have SpongeBob cars that you sadly don't see a lot. Not a fan of the show, but it's still great to see SpongeBob make a return to both the Xfinity Series and Cup Series. Anyways, the 2025 Focus Health 301 begins with Allgaier jumping to the lead. Brandon Jones just took second away from Zilich and is right behind Allgaier. Never mind, Zilich got second back and is right behind his teammate, Justin Allgaier. Almirola and Zilich battle for second. After Almirola took second away from him and showed up out of nowhere, not even Almirola can stop him as Allgaier is getting faster and faster. Love and Gray battle for sixth. So far, not much is going on. Allgaier now has a 1.5 second lead gap. And the caution just came out for debris. A few drivers came down to pit road during caution. Anyways, the caution ends with Allgaier and Almirola battling for the lead. Almirola just took the lead from Allgaier, and Zilich is in second. Come on, get past that bushwhacker, CZ! Zilich and Almirola engage in the battle for the lead. And just like that, Almirola wins the first stage of the 2025 Focus Tough 301. But anyways, pit road is open and several drivers come down to pit road and Jesse Love wins the race off of pit road. Dang it! The second stage begins with Jesse Love and Eric Almirola battling for the lead. Holy crapper! Zilich just showed up and is battling Jesse Love for second! Yes! Contact ensues and Jesse Love defends second from Zilich. Almirola and Jesse battle for the lead. Contact ensues with Hill and Allgaier, and he manages to defend fourth from Hill. Hill now has to fend off Ryan Sieg. Jesse and Almirola continue to go at it while one of the tires of Hill's car starts giving up. He just fell back to sixth. That's Austin Hill, by the way. Almirola wins the second stage of the 2025 Focus Tough 301 and does a stage sweep. But anyways, our second race off pit road begins, and DT, Dean Thompson, wins the race off pit road this time around. Holy crapper! The tides have turned. The second stage begins with Jesse Love and Car Zilich battling for the lead. Holy crapper, Zilich manages to pull away from Jesse. Jesse tries his best to hold off Almirola. Almirola takes second away from Love. Come on, man, don't let that bushwhacker get past you. Contact ensues and Zilich manages to hold him off until he lost the lead. Don't you just like it when a bushwhacker ruins a race? Yeah, no, I'm being sarcastic, by the way. I do not like seeing bushwhackers win, even if it's someone as good as Eric Almirola. There are some exceptions, but those are mainly drivers that don't usually win that much or have next to no wins in the Cup Series. BJ, Brandon Jones, and Hill battle for 7th. Ah, crap. Hill got past Brandon Jones. Jesse is starting to run down Almirola. Ah, crap. Jesse Love got past Almirola for the lead. Allgaier and Mayer make their pit stops. Jesse and Almirola are next to come in, and several more also join in alongside them. Daniel Dye is now leading until he too pits in. Jesse Love is back in the lead, and Zilich is trying his best to run him down. He gets loose and wasn't able to pass him. Both are right behind the SpongeBob car driven by Trevor Bayne. Holy crapper! Zilich got past Jesse Love and the caution just came out when DT lost control. Pit road is open and several drivers come down to pit road during caution. This time, Zilich wins the race off pit road. But anyways, the caution ends with Zilich jumping to the lead. He's neck and neck with Eric Almirola. Almirola tries to get past him until Sanchez appeared out of nowhere and helped push Zilich to the lead. He also held up Almirola. Sanchez gets loose. With 12 to go, Zilich and Almirola go at it again. Contact ensues and Almirola takes the lead from Zilich after sidetracking him. Zilich is not going to give up and retaliates with 3 to go. On the final lap, the showdown continues. Even with his best efforts, Eric Almirola still wins. I so wanted Zilich to win. The race itself got exciting until it got ruined by a bushwhacker winning. It gets a 7 out of 10. Just be glad it's bonus content. Anyways, I'm going to sign off. And the link to the 2 Vegas races are here. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell just in case I haven't already done so. Catch you guys next time and peace out.